Hello everyone, I am Prankur Gupta and today we are going to understand strings in Java. In my first lesson I have already talked about how we can declare a string, how to give memory allocation to string and how a string is immutable. And also we have discussed some of the functions of string. Now in this lesson we will discuss some other functions of strings. Now there is a function named concat. Now what does this function do? Basically if we have already declared a string and if we want to add something on that string, then we can use this function. Now here basically it accepts string because we are adding something on string, so it accepts string. So here the previous declared string is s. Now I want to concat something on that string, so I am basically what I am doing, I am writing s dot concat, and inside that function I am passing the string which I want to add. So I am passing Java. So now it will give me a new string which will be hello world Java. So basically this will also return us a string which I have to store somewhere, or you can say which I have to give some reference. So that is why I am pointing s to the newly created string. So if I try to print the value of s now again here, then it will print me hello world Java. Okay, that's how concat function works. Now if I want to check that if my string which I have declared is start with some particular pattern, or you can say particular substring, then I can check it using starts with function. Now here what this function is going to do is already declare from its function name. Now it returns us true if the substring that we are checking is present, then it will give us a boolean, or boolean, what is boolean, true or false. So it will give true if that substring is present and gives false if the substring is not present. Now here I am checking that whether this my hello world string is starting with hell. If it is starting with hell, it will give me true. Now we know that my string hello world is starting with hell, so it will give me true. Okay, now there is no need of this s, we don't need to point it to reference, it is just a writing error. Okay, now here is one more function which is ends with. Now it is used to check whether my string is ends with some particular pattern or a particular substring. We can check it. Now here I am checking whether my hello world string is ends with RLD. Yes it is, so it will give me true. Okay, same here, there is some writing error, so it should not be here as okay. So now if we want to check if we want to get a particular substring from a declared substring, if I have a hello world string and I want to get a particular substring from my this strings, then I can also get it. How? Just see here. Now here first I have to tell the starting index from where I want to get the string and the ending index till what I want to string. Now let us see how. Basically here I want a substring from my this hello world as dot substring. Starting index is 4 and ending index is 8. So basically we know that O is present at 4th index. So basically it will give us 4. It will give us 4 and also it will give us O space W and O. Why? Because the 8th index is present at R. So basically R is present at 8th index, but it doesn't count the last index that we have included here. I mean if we have right and end index at 8, then it will give us a substring till 7. Okay, so 7 so at 7 O is present, so it gives us O. So it will print us the substring from the starting index and the less than end index. Okay, as you can see here. Now there is also a overloaded function of this substring. This is actually whether basically here we have to pass a starting index. If we pass the starting index, then it will print us the substring from the starting index till the length of the string. Let us see how. Here I am basically passing 9. So 9, what is 9? 9 is basically the index of R. So 9 is basically the index of R. So it will print R, and it will keep on printing next characters till the end of the string. So it will print L also and D also. If I pass here 5, then it will print us space WORLD. So it will keep on printing characters till the end of the string. Okay, so now there is one more function which is compare to. This function is basically used to compare two strings, whether out of two strings, which one is greater, which one is shorter, and either they are equal or not. It is used to check that. Now there I have declared two strings, yellow and hello, and if I want to check which one of them is greater, I can use this as compare function. Actually it will compare s and s1, so I have to write s dot compare s1. So it will first take the how it actually works. Basically it subtracts one character of one string and with the one character of other string. Basically if we have yellow and hello, first it will pick one character from one string, which is y, and it will pick one element from one character from other string, which is h. So it will basically subtract h minus y. So basically how it will subtract, basically it subtracts the ASCII value of these both characters. So it will basically subtract the ASCII value of h minus ASCII value of y. So if the value of this is, I mean, if we first, if there is s first, then the character of s will be written first, and minus the character of s1, which is y. So basically h minus y. Why? Because s is first, we have written s here, so it will first take the character of s, which is h, okay, and then minus the character of s1, which is y. Okay, so ASCII value of h minus ASCII value of y. So we know that the ASCII value of y is greater. Okay, so that is why h minus y will result us in minus. Okay, so h minus y will give us result in minus. So that is why we it is easy that if the result is in minus, then s1 is greater. Why? Because h minus y gives us result in negative. So basically the second one is larger. Okay, that is why the result is in negative. Now if we take yellow as s and hello as s1, then what will happen? Then first it will take the character of s, which is y, and then it will subtract it from s1's first character, which is h. So y minus h will give us positive. So it means that s is greater and s1 is smaller. Why? Because it results us in positive. So positive means first is greater, which is y, and h is smaller. Okay, so that is how we can check which string is greater and which string is smaller. And here I have declared two strings which are both same. So if we try to subtract each character of both strings, then it will result as 0. H minus h is 0, E minus E is 0, L minus L is 0. So it will result as 0. It means that both the strings are equal. Okay, now here we have equals function, which we can use to check whether two strings are equal or not. In C++ or C, we use double equality operator to compare whether two data types are equal or not. It is true for all other data types but not for string in Java. In Java, actually we do not use equality operator to compare two strings, or you can say to check whether two strings are equal or not. Why? Let us see that. Actually, if we initialize our string using literal, then here you can see that first if we initialize it using literal, then it gets memory in string memory pool, we know that. And if we try to again create a new string using same literal, then first it will check whether this literal is present in string memory pool. If it is present, then a new reference will start pointing to it instead of creating a new hello string. Okay, that's what happened in string memory pool. If a literal is already present there, it will not create a new literal. It will basically start pointing that reference to the previous declared literal. Okay, that's what we can see here also. So if we try equality operator in both these strings, what does equality operator basically do? Equality operator in Java basically do the comparison between the references, the addresses of the references. This is references, s and s1 are references. So basically it will compare the references of these both strings. Okay, so if we are writing s double is equals to s1, it is not comparing the value which is hello, it is actually comparing the addresses. So basically here by default here we can see that the addresses of s and s1 are same, so it will return us true. Okay, so it is true. However, the literal is also same, but addresses are also same, so that is why it is returning us true. And if we try equals operator, what it will do, sorry, equal function, what it will do basically, equal function basically compare the values. So basically s has a value hello and s1 also has a value hello, so it will compare based on the value, so it will also return us true. Okay, now let's move to when we initialize our string using new keyword. Okay, now here we know that when we initialize using new, then our object gets memory in heap. Now if it is getting memory in heap, every time a new object must be created. As you can see here, first we write this statement and an object is created and a reference start pointing to it. Now if we again start or again declared a new string with same name, or you can say same literal, then instead of pointing a new reference to it, it will create a new string. Okay, it will create a new object. As we see, however, in string memory pool we have seen that it first check whether this literal is present or not. If it is present, then a new reference will start pointing to it. But this is not in the case of heap. If a new literal, it doesn't check for a literal already present or not, it will always create a new object. Okay, that is why it is creating a new object of hello. So the addresses are now different. Now the addresses of s and s1 are different, so that is why it will return us false, because equality operator compares the, equality operators compare the addresses, so that is why now we can see here the addresses are different, so that is why it is returning us false. Okay, now if we use equals here, now if we use equals, what it will do, basically we know that equals compare the values, so basically it will compare the values present in these both references, so that is how it will give us true. So this is not a good practice to use equality operator, because it is used to compare the addresses of the references, so that is why sometimes it can be occur that the addresses are not same. So as we can see in this case, so we want to know the value, whether the value is same or not, so we must use equals operator, or you can equal function, okay, to check whether two strings are equal or not. This is all about strings in Java, guys. Don't forget to follow and share this video. This is my Unacademy profile link, you can follow me from there. Thank you guys.